Hey guys, welcome back to the TBR Diaries. This is part 16. Good Lord. And we are starting the third shelf today. So we are also joined by the cats. Hi. um, but for those of us, or for those of you that are just joining us, um, this is a little kind of mini series. Although at this point, I think it's going to turn into seasons. Um, but in this, what I'm doing is my physical TBR has gotten ridiculously out of control. And I continue buying books. When I started this journey, I only had one full bookcase and it slowly migrated into a second one. And now I am in the process of starting to fill up a third bookcase. So as I go through the books and kind of organize them and figure out what I have, I wanted to just share them with you. Maybe you've got some feedback for me as to why something should get bumped up and read more uh sooner rather than later, or maybe I should bump some stuff down and keep ignoring them. I always love to get your guys' feedback on things. A lot of these books you'll notice I'll buy them and then I forget what they're about. But as a reminder, this is what my physical TBR looks like. As you can see, right, the bookcase kind of to the right is completely full, and that was the first bookcase that got full. Then this smaller one, it is a little smaller and a little more narrow. But as you can see, I have filled that one up as well. And I have now moved on to starting the third bookcase. But we're still in the early stages of that one. So no worries, no worries. I got plenty of space for all the books that I'm going to continue buying. Um, but yeah, so usually, I like to come on here and talk about anywhere from 2 to 4 books. Um, and yeah, so let's jump into it. So the first book that I want to talk about today is The First Dryad, and this is by Tashelle Combs, and you can see right how beautiful and reflective that dust jacket cover is. And I also want to show y'all like the sprayed edges on this are just beautiful. It comes with its own like bookmark. And I want to show y'all. So this is the cover of the book. You have some art on the inside. It's also signed by the author. And then this is the art on the inside of the dust jacket cover. And this was an author that I found here on Book Talk. And I have not read it yet because I actually pulled it off the shelf and sat down to read it. But the author has in here, a pretty color map. So this is one book in what she calls the first collection. So it's a lot of different, like this one happens to be the first Dryad, then you have the first Spark, the first Muse. But this was the only one she had a special edition of. But it has different ways. So if you can see in here, to read like different reading orders based on the kind of either the person you are or the type of journey you want, right? So there's the romantic, you're bound to love, read it all in the most romantic flow, ending with a happily ever after. I tend to fall under the scholar because I'm a college professor, and so I like things in that way. And so right, she says here, you crave information, read in the order that fills in the most details first. So this would actually put the first Dryad as reading it third, which means I got to get the other books. um and she does have the whole first series in paperback, which I am planning on buying probably in August for my birthday. I think that may be my birthday present to myself. But yeah, first book, it's called The First Dryad. Beautiful book. Can't wait to read it. The next book I want to talk about is Anxious People. And this is by Frederick Bachman. Bachman. I'm not quite sure if it's Bachman or Bachman. But this one sounds interesting. Usually most of the books you'll notice are kind of in the romance genre. This one, however, is not. So this is a story about, I guess there's a group of people at an open house for an apartment, and a bank robber, it said failed bank robber. So I'm assuming he tried to rob a bank, couldn't, and he was running away and came to this apartment complex. Excuse me. And takes all of the people that are there hostage. And so this is kind of their story. Like each one of them isn't quite who they seem to be, right? They're all, and this goes into life, right? You never know what other people are going through. And so that kind of seems like what this story is about. I have not seen a lot of this on Book Talk. The one or two reviews of this that I've seen have said it's really good. So I think this will, I think I'm kind of in my romance era right now. So this one may tend to get pushed off just because it's not really a romance. And so I'm kind of, again, I'm a rude meter. I'm a mood reader. So when I'm not in the mood for a romance, I'll come back to this one and grab it. Yeah. Before I show you the next book, one of my cats would like to meet you. So this is Toph. Say hi, Toph. Boy, she looks so friendly, doesn't she? She was begging to come over here a second ago. Okay, so the next book that I want to talk about, and this will be the last one today, is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Again, I'm never going to be sure I'm pronouncing people's names correctly because I suck at pronouncing people's names. But excuse me, I'm a little sick, so in case y'all couldn't tell. But this one, first off, is a beautiful book. It's got the sprayed edges. And then the book itself is this beautiful yellow color with the blue foiling. And then of course the pretty inside. But this one is a story about a beautiful woman and basically how she can be used as a spy to infiltrate the king and get close to the king and cause all kinds of discord and whatnot. But of course, she's kind of falling in love with the military guy that's training her to do all of this. But yeah, sounds like a really interesting, intriguing story that's going to have tension. It sounds like there's going to be times where I'm going to be like, oh no, she's going to get caught. So it sounds like it's going to be a really good, interesting read. Just haven't gotten around to it. Just, with over 200 books on my physical TBR waiting to be read, it just tends to not get picked. But yeah, so those are the 3 books that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of them, what you think about them. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you.